Oh, morning again. Always catch me by surprise, that does. Hello, world. Yes, it's me again. Uh, just a sec, please. I haven't got my little drum roll things here ready to go. Oh, here we go. Yeah. Well, first and foremost, local weather. It's not a bad sort of day today. The skies are clear as a bell. The sun's got a little bit of a bite to it. I got to keep reminding myself to look at the camera, because that way my eyes are up. But I tend to look at the monitor, so it always looks. So my eyes are always down, and I prefer to. Well, if there's anyone watching, I prefer to get the impression I'm looking them in the eye, in the face. Yeah. Anyhow, the sun's just got a tiny little bit of a bite to it. It's 30 degrees C in my shed office, and I think it's about 26 degrees in the shade at the back of the house. And the humidity's down a fair bit today. I think it's around 55%. We had some rain late in the afternoon. Isn't it always the way? I had everything set up to record a video that I planned to upload to YouTube. It was about using my newly acquired chronograph, so I could check the muzzle velocity of my two Jakarta air rifles. But I had to call it quits because the rain came down. I just got into showing the chronograph close up, and just started to explain a little bit about the unit. And the rain got heavier, and I didn't want to risk any spray. I was under an awning, but I didn't want to risk any spray coming in and possibly compromising the photo cells of the unit. So I had to call it quits. But I did manage to upload a little video, just a short video of the chrony, because I know there's at least one out there, or probably two out there, who were keen for me to do this video on the air rifles. I just wanted to know that I'm still alive and kicking. But right, first cab off the rank now. Here in Australia, we and New Zealand, both countries have been hosting the World Cup cricket. And last night at the Sydney Cricket Ground was the semi-final between India and Australia. I'm happy to say that Australia won, which means they go into the final against New Zealand, and that should be a very good contest. But what I was amazed to hear from the commentators was that 70% of the 42,000 odd people that were there were Indian. Now, I'm not really surprised by that, because the Indians are far more passionate about cricket than we are here in Oz. Like we Australians are without it. Although we're passionate about all sports here in Oz, but the Indians, they're very, very passionate about their side. Which, considering the Indian population of India is about, I don't know, it's probably about 1.3 billion, and those who are selected, the players in the national team, well, they're looked upon as gods. Yes, looked upon as gods. So they take their cricket very, very seriously. But I was given to wonder, considering 70% of the crowd were Indians, does that mean that there are more Indians population in Sydney and surrounding suburbs than there are Australians? I mean, they're Australians, but it just made me wonder, because they virtually outnumbered the Australians. What could you say? 70%. Well, I don't know, 3 to 1. I'm probably wrong there. But or is it because they are so passionate about the game and their team that they made sure that they got on early to get the tickets to the semi-final? That wouldn't surprise me in the least. But I found that, I love to watch the cricket, but because the Indians are so enthusiastic for their team, they bring drums along and trumpets, and they really care. They really enjoy their night out at the cricket, watching their team play. I think that's great. they have chants going on, and they leave the Aussie chants for dead. Come on Aussie, come on, that sort of thing. But the Indians, they just keep chanting away, and it makes for a great atmosphere. But for me, when I'm watching this, the live telecast of the cricket match, I tend to watch it with the mute button on. I just mute the sound because it gets a bit overbearing at times. Anyhow, but as I said, the Australians won, and they won relatively easy. And now next Sunday they go to face New Zealand. New Zealand went through all the preliminary matches unbeaten, and but Australia, they almost beat New Zealand. Now Australia had been bowled out for 151 in their match against New Zealand some time ago, and Australia defended that meagre total to the point that they almost beat New Zealand. If they'd have had another 20 runs, they would have beaten them. So I think New Zealand will be mindful of that, and it's going to be a good game. I'm going for the Australians, of course. I honestly think that Australia will beat New Zealand, and therefore will become 2015 World Cup cricket champions again. Now, I received a comment from my friend in Virginia, in the United States. Hello, George. I will, as I said before in my reply to your comment, talk to you tonight via Skype. But he was asked, regards politicians and government and how people get what they vote for, which is true. But as I said in yesterday's live stream, now I'm just checking my notes here. Politicians from any political party, they are, to my mind, nothing but barefaced liars. They make promises they have no intention of keeping in the hope of persuading voters to vote for them. Nothing news about that. It goes on worldwide. And I'm sure George over in America, he would be more familiar with that. And then, if by chance they get into government, the promises they made, well, most of their promises anyhow, are quickly put to the wayside, and they get about busying themselves doing what they all do best, looking after their own vested interest. And that means, in a nutshell, looking after they themselves. And all politicians are very good at doing that. Oh yeah. What can I say? Anyhow, George also asked me, at what point do your elected politicians become too much? I can tell you, George, they become too much as soon as they get into government. As soon as they get into office, they're too much as far as I'm concerned. But then it's too late, because then you've got to wait until the next election. But, I'm not really a political person. No, I never have been. I vote, but only because it's compulsory to vote. But I do favour one political party, and that's the shooters and fishers. And because as a hunter, shooter and a fisherman, we need to have a voice in Parliament, or two or more. Otherwise, the anti-gun law, we've got a very strong anti-gun lobby here in Australia. And the anti-hunting lobby, yes. There's all those crying bloody blue murder. How could you go out and shoot cuddly little furry animals and so on and so forth? Totally oblivious, totally ignorant of the fact that most of these cuddly furry little animals are nothing but pests. That doesn't matter to them. But yes, if it wasn't for these voices we have in Parliament, then these anti this and anti that, well, they would get all their demands, no questions asked. And that's a so-called democracy. We here in Australia is a democratic country. Or it's supposed to be. I don't know. The way things are going, I really think that unless drastic changes are made, to the point that I think governments in general need an enema with a high pressure hose to wake up to themselves what's going on in this country. Otherwise, we're going to go down the toilet quick smart. Yeah. But anyhow, back to my friend in the United States, in Virginia. I was somewhat concerned to hear that he's suffering from depression. Now, those were his words. And look, I'm also familiar with that hideous disease. I am. Yeah, I went into the depths of depression in 1996. That was the year the national gun buyback came in because of that lunatic Martin Bright massacring 34 people in Port Arthur, Tasmania. And it was the same year my mother died. Maybe, perhaps it was those two things that, and maybe others, but it was those two that broke. It was a straw that broke the camel's back. And I went into the depths of despair. Yeah, it just hit me like a bolt from the blue. And I still take medication today. I've weaned myself down to only one 37.5 milligram capsule, but and I'm thankful for it because it worked for me. I did go and see a psychiatrist, and for quite some time, and of course they tend to prescribe medication, which is fine with me. You know, my illusions of a psychiatrist, as you often see in television shows and movies, of lying down on the couch and just spilling your guts out about your whole entire life. Well, that didn't happen. And I did explain the symptoms of what I was suffering, and then he prescribed one medication, and that didn't work. And then it was trial and error for a while until I got into Effexor, which is what he prescribed for me, and it worked for me. But I've got to be diligent. I've got to make sure that I take the medication every day, because if I'm tardy, if I forget, take a dose, then it's not long, maybe a day before I start getting this. And this is a strange symptom of it. It gets me right here in the palm of my hand. I get a sort of a prickly sensation. Yeah, and I know that I've forgotten to take my medication. And if I continue to forget to take my medication, that black dog starts yapping at your heels again. It does. And if by chance you don't take your medication for a few days, then that black dog, it latches on again. Oh yeah. So I'm always mindful that I take my Effexor every morning with breakfast. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that you're depressed, George, because it's a terrible thing. And I will talk to you tonight via Skype as promised. And all I can advise you to do, my friend, is seek professional help, please. Please seek professional help. Oh dear. Now, excuse me, I'm just going to have a sip of tea, and I think there's tea in the mug this time. Oh, you beauty. It's nearly full. Oh. Yeah, so now, I'll just check my notes here. I think I had to make a note that said pre-record the chronic look at and pre-record the digital unit. See, I did start to record yesterday, but I didn't like some of the sequences, so I had to do them again. And but I got to remind myself, because my mind just, I just forget things, just like that. I just forget things. They just completely slip my mind. So unless I make notes about things, I just can't remember. So perhaps this afternoon I'll get the 2 air rifles out again, and I'll get stuck into doing recording for that video. And then once it's done, I'll come in here and I'll edit it all, and get it uploaded to YouTube. I've been a bit recalcitrant of late about recording videos for YouTube, and, because with these live streams, they automatically upload to YouTube. And I said this before, that initially I thought I'd download them and edit them. But then I decided, oh, what's the point? I mean, why go to all that trouble? I mean, YouTube just automatically uploads them, and I don't have to go through a lot of hassles. You know, I don't have to go through the hassle of editing the videos. In fact, I wouldn't know what to edit out anyhow, because I and R and get suffer those silent interludes, and you know, that'd just be a pain in the bum. So I decided just to let them be. But as I said before, I'm not getting many views, although George says he watches all my videos uploads, and I'm really thankful for that, George. Thank you very much. Yeah. Oh dear. So I don't really know whether I'll get around to doing that this afternoon, because, as I said in yesterday's live stream, my lawn's in desperate need of a mow. Holy smoke. But I just don't know if I'll get around to doing it. I really don't. But we'll see what happens. And with the weekend coming up, my wife is going over to her late mother's house, and her brother and his wife are coming up, as they do every month, and they stay for 3 days, and they get stuck in to clean the house out. And my son's going over there to give them a bit of a hand, because we have a curbside pickup scheduled for this month. That's where you can just put all your rubbish out on the curb side, and the council comes around and picks it up. It's good, nice and handy. But you know, it's amazing the amount of stuff that people put out. And as I said yesterday, that you know, we really are smothering ourselves in litter and rubbish, garbage and whatever. We have a recycling program here in Crofts for the local council, where they recycle all that can be recycled: glass, plastic, paper, you know, cardboard, this sort of stuff. And they recycle the grass clippings and prunings and all this, turned into mulch. But a lot of those, a lot of the other stuff is just compressed into cubes. And I think it's the same with a lot of the councils in this country. You know, they're just compressing all this recycled stuff into cubes, and they're just stacking the cubes up. I don't really know whether it's been actually been recycled or not. You know, they're certainly doing the first bit, but where that stuff goes to, I have no idea. You know, you often see in stores that this package is made from recycled plastic and glass and whatever, but I don't know. I think we might end up to the point where the councils will have yards chock-a-block full of these cubes stacked up a mile high, and they'll block the sun. That wouldn't surprise me, at least, because they're not quite sure what to do with it all. And there's so much of it. It's a big problem. What we need is some sort of disintegrator, a disintegrator unit. You just put your garbage in there and it just zaps it, and bang, it's gone. You know, all gone. Yeah, it'll probably happen one day. Oh, God. Oh, I got a sore back. Right side, lower back. I don't know what the hell's going on. I did twist my my back about a couple of weeks ago. I think I was using the I think I was doing a bit of pruning with the motorized pruner, and it's a little bit weighty, and I think I just turned too quickly to the left with it, and I wrenched my back out. Although I still think the new mattress we got for the bed is has a lot to do with it. So I'm going to try an experiment tonight, and I'm going to go and sleep one of the single beds in the spare room, just to see if the difference in the mattress will make any difference. My wife probably won't mind it. She can have the big bed to herself. Because I don't mind sleeping in a bed by myself, especially a double bed, because then you can flip your arms right out, and you can really make yourself comfortable in any position. You're not going to bug your partner. Yeah. Oh dear. No, I'm going to have another sip of tea. Excuse me. Yeah. I'll just check my my notes again. Mm. Oh dear. Well, here we are, nearly the end of March and the first month of autumn, but you wouldn't know it really. I mean, it's just been so damn hot and humid and wet. But they're not getting the rain out in the country where they need it. No, that's a tragedy. It's been very dry out in the country. But knowing my luck, this is what happened last year when I went bush for the season, winter season. I got there was a lot of rain. I had a lot of wet days, but that was good. It was good to see the land respond to the rain, and it responds really quickly. It's amazing how quickly the land gives back what's been taken away from it by the harsh sun and drought. It gets a little bit of rain and it just blossoms and blooms in no time at all. It's absolutely wonderful to see. When I visited my friend last year, I stayed on his property. Oh, it must have been nearly 6 weeks. Might have even been 8 weeks. Might have been 2 months. I'm not quite sure. But it was green everywhere. You know, it wasn't thick, but it was enough for the sheep to get some decent tucker into them. And some of the areas there, some of the open paddocks were like golf courses. Yeah, like I didn't have any golf clubs. I used to play golf. I had a passion for golf. Oh, years ago. I was a member of the local golf club and used to play whatever free time I had. But I was nothing but an A-grade hacker. And but eventually that got me down. In fact, it was one particular Monday. I had a roster day off from work, and I'd gone to the golf club, the golf course, and I was by myself, and I was playing the front nine, and I teed off in the first. I hit a beautiful tee shot with a 5-wood. I hit a little wedge shot onto the green. I 2-putt, had a par. Went on the next par 4, had a bogey, had a 5. Went to the par 3, had a par. Went to the next par 4, had another bogey. I was ecstatic. It was the best golf I've ever played. And then I came to the 5th hole. It was a par 5, a long par 5, and it had 2 lakes. One not that far from the tee, and another one further up towards the green. Well, I took a 5-iron out to play safe, and I hit the best 5-iron shot I ever hit playing golf. It was a massive long hit, straight and true, and it had a wonderful lie, or just to the right, the center of the fairway. So I was feeling ecstatic. So I walked down there to the ball and I looked at the ball and thought, oh well, it's sitting pretty well. So I thought I'll get out the 5-wood and I'm going to go for this green in 2. Now, when I first started playing golf, I used to slice the ball. I had a chronic slice. So I got a couple of lessons from the professional at the golf course, and he taught me how to hook the ball. And it got to the point where I could hook the ball around anything, you know. Anyhow, I thought, okay, I'll just hit this 5-wood and close to the green, or if not on the green, and I'll be able to just chip on or putt on. Well, the slice that I thought was gone, well and truly gone, for some reason came to the fore, and I sliced the ball into the lake. I mean, I think I topped the ball, and it went into the first lake. Oh, I was spitting chips. Anyhow, I thought, now hang on a minute. You know, you can just drop a 3rd ball, and you're still only playing your 4th shot. It could be worse. Could have done a lot worse on that hole in the past. So I walked over to where the ball had crossed the bank and went in the water, marked a line, took a new ball out, dropped it, and it was sitting really nice. And I thought, I'll try the 5-wood again because it was sitting up a little bit. Well, if I didn't slice that shot too, it went straight into the next lake. I was fuming. I was absolutely spitting chips. So much so that in my rage, I picked up the buggy and bag and I held it above my head and I started to walk towards the first lake, and I was intent on throwing the lot into the lake. That's how angry I was. And then I calmed down. I thought, this is silly. Why play the game if this is what it's doing to you? And that was it. I just lowered the bag and buggy, and I just quick smart back to the parking lot, put the lot in the car, and I went home. And then I took the lot out of the car and I put it in the garage, and I've never had it out since. That was the end for me. That was the end of playing golf. Yeah. So back to the property. I mean, under normal circumstances, if I'd still been playing golf, I probably would have had a few clubs with me, and I could have just hit the ball all around these wonderful green paddocks. But no. But this is what the rain can do. You know, it doesn't take much. You know, 25 millimeters an inch, 50 mil a couple inches, and the rain responds just by magic. You know, you can virtually see it change overnight. So I really don't care if it rains when I go away. I don't want to set in you, like, you know. I prefer if it rained overnight. When I'm lying in my tented unit, my canvas unit that folds off the back of the four-wheel drive, and I'm lying in bed there and reading as I always do when I go to bed. And there's nothing more lulling, nothing more soothing than listening to the sound of rain, either on a corrugated iron roof or a canvas roof. Yeah, I love it. I love the sound of rain. I like the sound of gentle rain here in my shed office too, because as you can see, it's got a metal roof. But I don't like it when it teems. You know, it just drums so loud on the roof that well, I can't hear myself think. But yeah, it's oh, what's this down here? It's got a random thing here, like a little poker machine handle on it. I don't know what. What's this? Get out of there! I don't know what you're supposed to do. Press it down. Oh, I see. It just pops up something. Try it again. Aha! Now you know what? I don't mind that look at all. Don't mind that look at all, you know. Oh, strike. Yeah, they're gone. Thank you. Thank you. Anyhow, look, I'm not going to, as I always say, sit around here like a shag on a rock trying to think of things to say. But see, a thought just popped into my head, then it popped out again, just like that, gone. Happens to me all the time. Oh God, I don't know. I think I said this before too in a previous live stream. I hope I'm not experiencing onset Alzheimer's. I sure as hell hope not. And this is why these broadcasts are very good for my mind, because it's pertinent that you keep your mind active the older you get. And I do that all. I do lots of things to keep my mind active, and that's why I have my YouTube channel, and that's why I do different things around the house. And I'm always thinking about things, you know. Gee, that's good. But anyhow, just a reminder to my friend George over there in Virginia in the United States. I have got Skype up, as a matter of fact, because I just happened to fluke it that my sister was on it earlier this morning, and I was able to have a chat with her. And that's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of Skype. Yeah, it's wonderful to be able to talk to your sister face to face. We normally only talk to her over the phone. So yeah, so I did that. So Skype's up and going, and I will, George, tonight get onto you, as long as you get back to me with a suitable time. I know you go to bed early, and I know you get up early, probably around about 4 o'clock in the morning. Which let's see, 4 o'clock in the morning. Well, what would that make it here? Well, I think we're about 17 hours difference. So that'd be around about 10 o'clock tonight. That's okay, because I'm always in my shed till then. In fact, I'm in my shed till about midnight, 1 o'clock. Yeah, and I said this before too. I think I spend more time here in my shed office than I do in the house. That's my wife. She's just checking the washing. Yeah, so that's it. So I'm going to call it quits. And I know it's only it'll be Thursday in the States, and it's probably early morning Friday in Europe. Well, I'm not sure. But now I will wish you all a very good weekend, and I'll be back again on Monday at 1 p.m. spot on for my next live stream. And to all those who watch and will watch, I thank you so much for watching. I really do. Very much appreciate it. I'll give you a round of applause. You deserve it. Yeah, yeah. And I will say, until next time, bye for now. See you next week. Toodles.